prodigal son life, we'll put it that way, all my life. I mean, I've always been involved in the church. I've been a Christian for most of my life. I was anyway. Always avoided. I never had any legal difficulties, and about 2 or 3 years ago, I had a situation where I got in trouble, and then I had spent some time in the big house, we'll call it. Really wasn't, but still, it was
Sure.
incarcerated. We'll put it that way. And then I went along for about a little bit over a year after I got out, and everything smooth sailing, and I kind of had a little trip up, and I ended up violating my probation. So the judge finally put me in work release. I was on home detention, and I could still come to church and stuff. But when I went in work release, they wouldn't allow me to. So I had to, I was trying to figure out a way where I could still come to church, and we thought about, going back to the judge and I figured that'd probably took 4 or 5 months to even get through if he even did it. So I could work, and as long as they kind of, and Dan was the spearhead of this thing, and I think somebody outside the church even made the suggestion, we'll just create a job for him.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean that's the only reason. I still do stuff here at the church, help Connie, in cleaning and stuff like that. But that was a way that I could come back, be with my church family, worship, and go to my Bible study and do those things and still be involved. And it's been a blessing, and I've tried to keep it so it doesn't cost the church anything by giving that back. So I just want to thank everybody again for just being such a wonderful group of people, and be so supporting. Through nobody judged me, nobody said, hey, we don't want him around or whatever thing. But more so, not so much that, but it was how they made me feel so welcome and want. Like I said, I think people were as happy to see me when I came back as I was to see them. So here, it was totally different. It was the people, it was the family, it was the way people made me feel when I came into this building, and that's grown. I mean, I started getting involved with the men's Bible study when Dad was still around, and started going out, and all those guys have just been, phenomenal, and their support of me, and we've developed some really good friendships, through that. But then in the church in general, I mean, even when I couldn't come for a while, when I first got put on work release, I mean, it was, I couldn't come for about a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked in that first week, and I was so glad to see everybody, and everybody was so glad to see me, and I could feel that, and I could see that. I mean, and people they're just so loving and so giving at this place. I mean, they really have your best interest in mind. And I've had a few people at other churches that I had a relationship like that. But I mean, there's so many here and that's what made me really decide I wanted to be a part of this church and wanted to join. So probably in the mission work, and I don't mean outside, outside this area, but just here. I mean, doing stuff in this town, doing stuff in the communities. I mean, everybody here, it seems like, volunteers and is involved in all the aspects of that stuff. Where in other churches I've been to, you had small groups that would just would do stuff, but the mass portion of the congregation just wasn't involved in it. They'd come, worship on Sunday, and then you probably wouldn't see them till next Sunday.